Okay, welcome back to Knoxville for the pregame press conferences for the second round matchup between Tennessee and Toledo. We're joined by Tennessee student athletes Tess Darby, Rickea Jackson, and Jordan Walker. Once again, we ask that you please state your name and affiliation before your first question, and we'll go ahead and open it up to questions for our student athletes.
For Tess and Jordan, a year ago you were at the same stage and playing a 12 seed, and it was a tight game. You know, you win by 3. Do you tap into that memory about how seedings truly don't matter at this point when a Sweet 16 bid is on the line?
Definitely. You know, everybody wants to get to the Sweet 16. Everybody wants to continue their season on. So knowing that, I mean, you know, you got to come on and play hard. Last year with Belmont, like you said, that was a really close game, and it tested us a lot. But it's going to be the same story. You know, you got to come out and you have to play from the beginning and play hard.
Yeah, I just think going off what JoJo said, respect and all, fear none is kind of the mentality we have. But I feel like everything that the coaches have put us through with our preseason schedule, I feel like we've seen and we're prepared for anything. But so just coming out tomorrow and playing our game.
Rickea. Yeah. Oh, hi. Frank DeLuca, WBIR. What was it like to play your first NCAA tournament game?
Yeah, it was fun being able to play on the biggest stage in college women's basketball, especially doing it with my teammates. We definitely made it fun. You know, we didn't struggle in the first quarter, but, you know, it was kind of close in the first quarter, but I feel like we just pulled away doing the little things and keeping our intensity high. So it was very fun playing with this team in the tournament.
Coral Hall, the Knox News Sentinel. This is for Rickea and Jordan. Obviously, you both are from Michigan. Jazz is from Michigan, and then you've got a couple Michigan players on the other team, including Sophia from Muskegon as well. How fun is it to have that representation from Michigan in the NCAA tournament right now?
You know, I was just thinking about that this morning. Like, wow, we got some Michiganders down here in Tennessee playing. But I think it's, you know, really good, obviously, for Michigan, but for us as a whole, just to be able to be on the biggest stage of college women's basketball, like Rickea said, and being able to represent Michigan.
Yeah, same.
We have a question from Zoom, Gabriella.
Gabriella Lewis, the next. I was just hoping y'all could speak on your confidence that has progressed over the season, but particularly getting such a dominant win yesterday with, you know, such a margin.
I'll go. Yeah, you know, yesterday was definitely a confidence booster for sure, but we knew that we had to come out and dominate. That was our game, and we needed that momentum to keep us rolling through March. But also our confidence, just kind of going back to what I just said about our preseason schedule. I mean, it was tough, but I feel like everything that we went through, that's why we're still playing in March, and that's why we were so dominant yesterday.
Tess, your younger sister got in the game yesterday, scored some points. Both Jordans were talking about how she, you know, works so hard in practice. She does that every day in practice. You've seen it your whole life. What did that moment mean to you to get to see her go out there and, you know, not just score free throws, but to hit that pull-up jumper?
Yeah, you know, that's why you play the game of basketball. Just seeing all the work that Edie has put in growing up, just competing in the drive lane, just seeing it all come to the biggest stage of women's basketball. It was awesome. Seeing the teammates and the team rally around her, it's really special.
Teresa Walker, the Associated Press for the Michiganders. How familiar are you at all with Toledo? And if a team has won 17 straight, does that just kind of get your attention immediately?
I've played Toledo in my career quite a few times, so I'm pretty familiar with them. They're always, you know, a good team, play really hard, have great players. But with the 17 straight wins, it does catch your attention because obviously that they're on a roll. But I know that if we do the things that we do well and handle business on the defensive end, then we'll be fine.
Any other questions?
This team's offense is rolling right now. They put up 80 points against Iowa State. Quenisha Lockett's a huge, you know, energy player for them. What do you feel like is the biggest key for you guys, just to slowing them down and to have another defensive performance like yesterday?
I think coming out and setting the tone from the beginning like we did yesterday. I think that we can guard anybody in the country. So I really just think that coming out, setting that tone, sitting down, all 5 of us at a time, you know, and playing our defense, I think that that's what, you know, is going to help us.
We'll go back to Gabriella.
I know you all get this one a lot, and this is for any of you, but, considering how challenging this season has been with some losses there, what would it mean getting to the Sweet 16?
I think it would be really special. You come to the University of Tennessee, and you're supposed to get to the Sweet 16. You're supposed to be in those games. But just being able to compete with basically all four of the number one teams, and the list keeps going, it's just, I don't know, we're just really prepared, I feel like, and it's just given us that boost of confidence that we can compete with anyone. We're a whole different team than we were in the 1st of November.
This is for all three of you. It looked like you were wearing low tops coming in. Is that your preference as a shoe? So yes, this is an outside of the box kind of question. Are you a low top person? Have you switched in your career from high tops? And what is it that you like about going with the low tops? Does it help you play better? What's the key?
I'm a low top girl for sure. I just love the look of the low tops. I just think it look cuter.
Growing up, I was high tops. My parents wouldn't let me wear low tops. It's no ankle support and all of this. I had to wear ankle braces with the high tops. So, getting to college, I got to express my freedom a little bit and go to the low tops.
Yeah, I was the exact same person as JoJo growing up.
Rickea, from the start of the year, what would you say has been the biggest area that has made you more comfortable playing on this team specifically?
I would just have to say, finding my spots and developing confidence in my jumper. Just having the teammates that I have that continue to, support me and, give me the ball in my spots. It just makes me want to, work hard for them. It makes me want to make that shot for them. If I miss a shot, JoJo give me a great pass, or Tess give me a great pass, I'll be like, dang, I let them down. Let me make the next one. So just them, always encouraging me. That just helped me have even more confidence in myself to knock those shots down and finish plays.
Anything else? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If she comes early, we'll go. We haven't stuck to that strict schedule. Okay, welcome back to Knoxville. Pre-game press conferences for Tennessee here before the second-round matchup with Toledo with Coach Kellie Harper. Coach, go ahead and start us off with your thoughts about Toledo and a second-round matchup on Monday night.
Yeah. First off, I think we're playing a team that could have easily had a different number in front of their name, a lower number. This is a really talented basketball team, experienced team. Who's rolling. They're playing some really good basketball. They're confident. They have big wins on the season, and they've done what they needed to do in their league. So very talented team. They're disciplined. They're tough. They obviously can spread you out with their three-point shooters. They've got some folks that can score in the paint, and that's off the pass and the drive. So they're very talented, and then very smart, very intelligent basketball team on the defensive end, where they might not have the size as some opponents. They're able to make up for that with how they play. So we know this is a very good basketball team. We're in for a big battle.
Questions?
Teresa Walker, the Associated Press. Kellie, how much, if at all, do you mention last year's second-round game? You also another 12 seed, and that was a 3-point win that you guys had to kind of gut out to get to the Sweet 16. Do you mention it, or do you just focus on the fact that of what Toledo's got and how dangerous they are with their 17-game win streak?
Yeah, this is probably one of those times we won't talk about last year. Our team remembers it, but you know, we use experiences a lot throughout the season, but I think at this point, it's just locking in on who we are now and what we need to do. You know, I think our players have kept their eyes on the NCAA tournament, both men's and women's. They see upsets, they see the challenge. They know that you get to this point, you're playing somebody good, and it doesn't matter what the seed number is. You're playing somebody good. If there are 32 teams left, I can guarantee you there's 32 really good teams in the country.
Cora Hall, the Knox News Sentinel. Kellie, I want to ask you about Kaya Wynn, because she's played in so many games for you guys in short spurts for, you know, just go get offensive board, go play defense really quick for me. Can you just talk about her role and how special she's been as a culture piece as well?
Yes, Kaya Wynn is, she's one of those people that in life that whatever she does, she's going to be successful. And she has a big heart. She's fun to be around, kind of the life of the party kind of person. You know, and in her career thus far, she hasn't had big minutes. And I'm telling you, she's had a great attitude. She's had a great work ethic despite that. And I have a lot of respect for someone like that. I have a lot of respect for Kaya. When she goes in the game, obviously she brings athleticism. She's aggressive. She can get to the basket, and she can, I tell you, I think every time we put her in there, she'll go get an offensive board, and that's fun to see.
Kyle Rowland, Toledo Blade. Just curious, as you were out there yesterday watching the Toledo-Iowa State game, just your thoughts on Quenisha Lockett and what else you've seen of her on film preparing?
Yeah, obviously, you're not player of the year. You don't happen into player of the year, right? She's that talented. And, you know, obviously her speed stood out yesterday. What makes her effective, she can shoot and put the ball on the floor. You can't back off of her. You can't get up on her tight. So she's very difficult to guard. I'm impressed with how hard she cuts, how hard she runs through her offense, how she runs through their offense, and then how hard she plays. You know, she'll use that. Some kids are fast. She's fast and plays hard. You know, so she'll go get an offensive board. She'll track down loose balls. She was really impressive yesterday, but I don't think yesterday was an anomaly. I think that's who she is. I think she's that talented, and obviously a handful for anybody that's guarding her.
And then just aside from the fact that, I mean, Toledo's a solid team, how dangerous is an opponent when, I mean, they've won 29 games this year. They're on a 17-game win streak. They're coming off this upset. I don't know. Does that make it dangerous just in terms of, like, the confidence they're playing with?
Yeah, I think when teams are playing with momentum, that's a big deal in March. You see it right now on both sides of the men's and women's brackets. I mean, you know, you get on a roll and you can keep going. I mean, you can look historically and see teams that have done that. So they're one of those teams that they feel good about what they're doing, and honestly, they should. I mean, they've been that good. And you know, I think the other thing that you know, when I look at, they had some tight wins late, and they figured it out. And to me, that's also a big confidence booster down the stretch. You know, they get in those close games. They know they have experience pulling those out.
Frank DeLuca, WBIR. To get every one of your players in, and not only that, but see them all score in the NCAA tournament, what do you think that does for a team?
Oh, that was huge. I was so excited. You know, obviously, we take for granted being in the NCAA tournament, I think, at times. And, you know, there are a lot of talented players that never have an opportunity to play in this tournament. And I'm excited that all of our players not only played, they just scored. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. And, you know, I don't take that lightly. But, coming into practice today, I mean, it was all smiles. They're excited. You know, there's great team chemistry and camaraderie when everybody gets to go in, and it wasn't just everybody scored. They played well. Everybody that went in the game played well yesterday, and that's a good feeling for an entire team.
Kellie, if you guys advance to Sweet 16, it'll be the first time Tennessee went to back-to-back Sweet 16 since 15 and 16. I know you have to finish the game, obviously, but what would that say to you as a coach about just what you've established here and how positive that would be for you?
I think it'd be a huge step, you know, to get back there. It's so funny. I keep I'm not forgetting. My mind hasn't been dwelling on what if the win. You know, obviously we're so locked into the moment, but we, you know, it would be a big deal. It really would, and you know, I think it would mean a lot to our team and to our staff to be able to watch our team make that next step.
Kellie, Jordan is 3 assists away from matching your career total.
Oh.
Yes. Is that, as a coach, do you want to see your player maybe pass you? Or is there maybe just a little bit, the competitor as a former player, it's like, oh, if she gets to 2, maybe I should just sit her down.
Sub her out.
Is that just how is that as a former player and now her coach?
Man, that's funny. I'm gonna take a lot of heat on this one from her. I didn't know that. No, 100%. Obviously, I want her to do great. I want her to have 3 assists in the first quarter. You know, I want her to be that player for us. I had a little bragging rights up until that point. So hopefully she can get to that and surpass it by a lot. You know, she and I have a really good relationship, so we'll probably go back and forth on this one for a bit.
We have a question on Zoom from Gabriella. Gabriella, go ahead.
Gabriella Lewis, the next. Coach, Tess just said, you know, playing for Tennessee, you're supposed to make the Sweet 16, but knowing what the season has been, some challenges, some losses, you know, even with that program record, what would it mean to make the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be very satisfying for our team. I think, you know, I think it would be rewarding. They have really continued to buy in all season long, whether we were winning or losing, whether it was November or February. They've done a really good job of buying in and really working hard each and every day. They never lost their confidence, so it's almost a reward for what they were able to withstand and what they were able to do.
I'm going to kind of follow up on that. You were, as a player, were part of a team that had the double-digit loss season and went on to win a title. Is that maybe the biggest lesson that you have that you can offer this team, is that it is the improvement that they make through the season that can make what happens in March matter? Yeah,
I think every team has a different story, you know, and I think you can look at different teams and get inspiration from different teams. And you know, obviously, I was a part of 3 very different national championships, one with 10 losses, one was undefeated season, you know, and I think you can draw from all those experiences. And what our players have continued to do is continue to have confidence, continue to believe in what this group can do.
We've seen the way this team has grown on the court and the way they've performed over the course of the season. How have you seen this team grow emotionally?
I think we have. I think we've grown with our maturity on the court. I think our team has stayed pretty even keeled the last couple months. Big wins, tough losses. I think they've stayed pretty even, and I think that's a testament to that maturity. I think the experiences that they've had all year has really helped them grow. And, you know, I think just battle through adversity, any kind of adversity you have. I think I don't know if it changes you or challenges you, maybe both at times. And I think that's happened to us. I think our players they have found a way to play through tough times. I think a lot of that's with their emotion as well.
Any other questions?
I want to answer the one about the shoes. High tops. I'm a high top girl.
Well, and was it because to help protect the ankles, or?
Listen, they don't make high tops anymore. Not the 90s high tops. They don't make 90s high tops anymore. So when I pull out a pair of high tops, when I played scrimmage again, played with their players not too long ago, and I put on some high tops and played. It's a very loose term, okay? And they were making fun of my shoes because they were going way over the ankles, and oh, heaven forbid, these days you wear anything that hits your ankles. So they like the low tops, but even when they pull out a high top, it's not the same. It's just different. So
What's the difference? Is it?
their comfort. They just don't like it. They don't like the shoes over their ankles. And it's not just us. I mean, you really it is hard to find a shoe that looks like it looked in the 90s.
Do they come up not as high on?
They don't come up as high on the ankle. So even high tops, what I would have considered growing up would have been a 3/4. Yeah, it's very different.
Thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, thanks for including me. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.